How's it going, everyone? This is Brad Williams with Over 40 Fitness Hacks. I have my new season co-star with me, Julieanna Hever. How's it going, Julieanna?
Great. How you doing, Brad?
Very good. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Julieanna, staying with the plant-based diet, I kind of was interested in more of the high-powered athletic world, the cardiovascular, the runners, the high-intensity sports athletes, or maybe even like bodybuilders or powerlifters. I mean, I've seen documentaries, even like I keep mentioning on Netflix about, bodybuilders and powerlifters kind of, to me are a little more inspiring, but just, across the board for athletes, what is plant-based diet, or some of your clients, what have they seen, or what's the thesis behind that?
What's so fun about it is that when you're eating a plant-based diet, you're flooding your system with all that anti-inflammatory properties and the antioxidant properties. And so if you think about exercise, any kind of exercise, really, you're getting your heart rate up, you're challenging your body, you're breaking down muscle tissue, you're breaking down bone tissue, you're, breathing a lot. So there's a lot of free radical formation happening. All of these things that could just it's really intense on the body, but that's how we heal. It's like if you've ever broken a bone and you know that the bone builds back thicker and stronger, just like the muscle. That's how you get hypertrophy. That's the nature, right? You get these microscopic tears in the muscle tissue. And then because of that stressor, it builds back thicker and stronger. Mm-hmm. So same concept with this. It's kind of like a hormesis type of idea. So like plants, if you put plants are outside, they start outside, right? They usually live outside and we bring them in. But plants are, they have these natural compounds that are protective of the environment, of pests, of weather. And when we consume those, we get the same benefits as the plants do. So if you think about in this state after exercise or between workouts or events, your body's in the state of inflammation or oxidation and all that. And if you're consuming these phytonutrients from plant foods, you're going to quench those reactions. And so it helps with recovery. And if you recover better, faster, then the next day you could train harder, faster, sooner. And then it just perpetuates and you get stronger, fitter, faster. It's like incredible. It's like this beautiful cycle. And so that's what I see with my clients. They notice that they feel better, they recover quicker, so they're able to perform better. And it's a wonderful, beautiful thing to witness and experience.
Yeah. I see, everything I've read and seen, like documentaries, and I can see how that can be beneficial for like the high intensity athletes, the runners, even the power lifters. For the typical like bodybuilder, if someone's really trying to put the hypertrophy on and everything. So the whole science behind that is, having enough protein. Once you break that down, your hormonal response to get the hypertrophy. And it's different than doing strength training. The bodybuilders are not even doing that heavy. They're just going, more for real concentrated reps, tricking the body's natural system to, increase the size. And the theory behind that is more like you need the protein to be able to do that. So how have you had any bodybuilding plant-based clients, and how do they get through that hump? Or are you saying protein's not even that necessary?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So first of all, yeah, we need protein. And if you're exercising like that and you're lifting like that, your appetite goes up, you're going to eat more food. And if you're eating more whole plant food, you're going to get more amino acids naturally. Mm-hmm. That said, a lot of these people, they're taking steroids and hormones, and that's what a lot of those proteins do. Like if you're doing dairy or whey protein, which is what a lot of bodybuilders take, it's hormonally active. So it increases your body's IGF-1 and growth hormone, which is why you can have that increase in hypertrophy in muscle tissue. Now, what I say, it depends on what my client comes to me for.
Yeah.
Just because you want to get big, you like, this is not necessarily healthy for health span and longevity. No, so where are you in your life? Yeah. Like I'm in my 40s now. Like I'm over that. Like I'm like, okay, I just want to like be healthy. Like I don't need to have bigger muscles. So what is the goal? And as I said, with health span and longevity, the only way we've actually increased that is by limiting essential amino acids. So it's almost like those are in conflict. It's almost like this, you can't have them both.
Exactly.
So that's why you see a lot of these athletes dying of heart disease really young, or because of all of the steroid use, or just the high protein, high influx of IGF-1 and growth hormone. So the goal is, what is the goal? What do you really want? And maybe at some point in your life that changes, right? Because when we're young, like boys, like I have a son who's going through it now. He's 14 and he's growing like crazy. And for him, the testosterone's off the charts right now. Like this is like the time to grow and hypertrophy and build muscle. But later in life, like, you risk injury and you risk cancer growth. Cancer growth is related to all of that as well. So it's a really interesting kind of paradox, and you have to really kind of do a deep dive onto what do you really want in your life and where are you right now?
Exactly. And, in my world of personal training, losing weight is easy, but if I get the clients, probably more the males, where they're looking, well, I want to be a power lifter or I want to be as big as I can. Okay. I can get that for you. But just to let you know, like, this is the world of aesthetics. You're just doing this for the looks of it. This is not healthy, just to let you know. And as long as they understand that, I'll, take them through safely and, still tips and tricks not to go overboard. And, I'm definitely not training any Mr. or Mrs. Olympians where they need the extra stuff, to get them to that level. I won't take them there. But, as long as they know that, that's okay. Same thing. Why are you doing this for? Are you getting paid millions of dollars to, be that big so you can, be an NFL athlete or something? Then why are you doing it?
Right.
But from going back to the bodybuilders, a plant-based bodybuilder can get there. He just has to work a little harder and be more mindful of the types of plants he's consuming, because I'm sure some of them are higher in the amino acid profile or protein, right?
A lot of them are doing a lot of the protein powders, like they'll do pea protein powders.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I still don't recommend it. So I actually won't even work with a lot of bodybuilders anymore. I won't do the competitive, any of that. I don't work with that anymore because I don't want to advocate for it. And I just rather focus on the people that just want to stay healthy, because there's ways you can still have muscle and be lean and fit and strong and powerful and everything without having to go to those extremes. Because if you really look at what these people do for prepping for a contest, it's so extreme and it's so unhealthy, like the dehydration and oh my gosh, and
people have died from that process too.
Yeah.
So just interesting to know if they could do it. Sounds like you can, but it's still not that healthy.
You can, yes.
Well, very cool. So Julieanna, what's the best way some of our listeners can get a hold of you? Are you on social media, LinkedIn, website? Why don't you tell them?
Yes, thank you. I'm at plantbaseddietitian.com. So if you go to plantbaseddietitian.com, you can find all my social media, but I'm on all of them. I'm on Instagram as Julieanna Hever, and Facebook as Plant-Based Dietitian, and Twitter as Plant Dietitian, and my name also for YouTube, Julieanna Hever.
Awesome. And everyone knows I'll put all the links in the descriptions to the podcast on Spotify and Apple, so they can just click on it and get there too. So, but Julieanna, thank you for being on our show. It was a treat, and I wanted to get someone in the plant-based world, and you were the perfect fit.
Thank you so much, Brad. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.